All right, today on Startup Chuck, we are gonna be combining all of my welding stuff here into one big, massive, single-piece welding cart. Because I am tired of having these crappy welding carts that I got from Harbor Freight that the rear wheels don't move. So we're gonna go to full pivoting, good casters. And we're gonna make a base that's big enough to fit not only both of these filing cabinet toolboxes to replace the garbage ones on the bottom of this guy that just don't fit anything, but also big enough to fit both welders on top and all these tanks that I got here as well. And so, and welding rods and helmets and grinders and everything I can think of that I want on one cart. And yeah, I could weld one up, but I'm just gonna use wood. And if the cart light's on fire, well, then I'm doing something wrong. I shouldn't have that many flammable things right on top of the cart. Plus, if the cart light's on fire, that means I'm getting sparks and flames directly onto my welding equipment, which is also stupid. So either way, I'm gonna make it out of wood and it should be substantially better than what I've got right now, which is this hodgepodge of just too much junk all over the place. So let's make the one cart solution that I've always dreamed of. All right, I got this set up to where I'm gonna have my tall welder on the shorter platform. The MIG welder is gonna be on the left one. Now on the MIG welder, the door to open and change material is actually on the left-hand side. And so that'll go right there. I'll have a piece of wood over the top of both of them. So that way it's not sitting directly on the cabinets and I can slide the cabinets in and out. And then I'm thinking we'll stick a 2x4 between these so that we can strap the tanks to it nicely. And 4 casters for the platform and we should be good to go. Ever do a roofing job with a tape measure you like and you just get cement all over it? It's so tragic. You can barely see the numbers. But 29.5, so 30-inch will give me enough clearance there. Front to back, oh, we're looking at about the same here, 29. I think this tape measure has seen better days. I do love Stanley Power Lock tape measures though. I gotta get a new one for Christmas. All right, we got this thing ready to go. Let's flip it over. And we'll put some carts on it. Got the filing cabinets on there. Now I want a platform that goes across. I'm thinking maybe a 2x4 from like this corner up, this corner up. Same on the other side, pieces across, and then a sheet of plywood. Another tool that I love is this Milwaukee bit extender, the extra long one. I have one time actually put a screwdriver stud through my thumb by having a screw bend out. So I was screwing really hard. The bit wasn't really sharp, so it bent out, and then the bit went into my thumb, and then I pulled the screwdriver away and the bit remained in my thumb and I fainted. And then I went to my wife and asked her to drive me to the hospital, made it to the garage, and I passed out again because it was so painful. And then finally made it to the ER. And when they pulled the bit out of my finger at the ER, I went from wanting to feel like I wanted to throw up the entire time to all of a sudden a massive wave of relief. I must have had that screwdriver bit right on a nerve. It was the most painful thing ever. So now I use a bit extender all the time and don't have to worry. And it makes it much easier because you can always just jam it on there and then it telescopes inward as you go. Big recommend get, this one or any bit extender that has a telescoping sleeve. It is totally worth the safety. All right, back to building this thing. All right, this thing's looking pretty good. I think now we're gonna put the welders up on top of it and then not mount them down, but then put the tanks on the back and make sure that the hoses work the way we want them to. Get things laid out and then we can do some further work. Okay, I'm gonna mount one last volet strap for this rod holder. Then the back side is done. Okay, that's good. All right. Liking that. Put that there. Maybe I can put it, well, hide it back there. What you do with your caps is always a mystery to me. Like, where do you store them? All right, minor stroke of genius. I figured out I'll just put 2 screws here, and then if I ever need to store caps, they can just rest on those screws. Better than nothing. So the old carts have these hooks. I'm just gonna unbolt these and then just repurpose them on the side of the 2x4s, I think. Nice. That'll work. Piece of beauty is finished. Let's check out all the amazing features. So I've got super easy open drawers. Got files and cutting blades. Lots of clamps. Chop saw, welding wire. This is a bunch of TIG stuff. Got my mask and gloves down here. Got this multi-purpose bin right here, fit nicely. TIG welder, fits right on top, no problem. I've got a grinder here. It's a repurposed drill bit sharpener, and I can use this to sharpen TIG bits, which is nice. Always make sure you wear a mask when sharpening TIG tungsten. You do not want to inhale it. It's really bad for you. MIG welder. And now what I'm most happy about is the MIG welder is way easier to change the material on now, because on the old welder, the door down here hit on the old welding frame right here. And so I was never able to open the door super easy, but now I can. And everything is like just an amazing height. I don't really have to lean over to do anything, which is much easier when you're trying to fit a really heavy spool of wire. Tanks are all back here, all nicely secured. I've got my welding rods right back here I can pull from whenever I want. I got a spare tank if I need it. Well, actually, that's the one I'm using. That's the spare tank. And so between them all, I've got CO2 and argon for TIG and MIG. And yeah, this is a huge improvement. I got a place to put the caps so I don't lose them. All the cables fit on here nicely. The filing cabinets hold magnetic holders really well for your fixturing. Well, I hope you liked this video. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.